The courtroom was a pressure cooker of tension, every seat occupied by reporters, legal analysts, and curious onlookers. The air was thick with anticipation, the kind that precedes a legendary showdown. Cameras flashed like lightning as the grand doors swung open, and Clint Eastwood strode in, his iconic silhouette unmistakable even in the dim light of the courthouse. Dressed in a tailored charcoal suit, his presence commanded attention. The Hollywood legend, known for his roles as the stoic, unyielding hero, now faced a battle far removed from the silver screen. This was personal. The presiding judge, Harold Whitaker, peered over his glasses with a condescending smirk. Whitaker was notorious for his disdain for high-profile defendants, often using his bench to humiliate those he deemed arrogant or entitled. His reputation for theatricality and biting sarcasm had earned him both admiration and disdain in legal circles. "Mr. Eastwood," Judge Whitaker began, his voice dripping with mockery, "I hope you understand that this courtroom operates on facts, not dramatic pauses and clever one-liners." A ripple of laughter spread through the gallery. Reporters chuckled, their pens poised to capture every moment of what they assumed would be a humiliating defeat for the aging actor. But Clint Eastwood remained impassive, his cold, steely eyes locked on the judge. He didn't flinch, didn't react. Instead, in a voice as sharp as a drawn gun, he replied, "We'll see about that." The room fell silent. Even Judge Whitaker seemed momentarily taken aback. Nobody knew it yet, but the judge was about to make the biggest mistake of his career. The case was a high-stakes showdown between Clint Eastwood and Titan Corp., a multinational conglomerate known for its ruthless business tactics. Titan Corp. Had accused Eastwood of breaching a decades-old business contract worth millions of dollars. The contract, signed during the height of Eastwood's career, involved a partnership to develop a chain of luxury resorts. Titan Corp. Claimed Eastwood had failed to fulfill his obligations, costing them millions in lost revenue. The prosecution's lead attorney, Richard Blackwell, was a rising star in the legal world. Young, ambitious, and arrogant, Blackwell had built his reputation on taking down high-profile defendants. He saw Eastwood as the ultimate trophy, a Hollywood icon whose fall from grace would cement Blackwell's legacy. "Your Honor," Blackwell began, his voice dripping with confidence, "this is a clear-cut case. Mr. Eastwood entered into a binding contract and failed to uphold his obligations. He owes my clients a fortune." Clint sat back in his chair, calm and composed. He tapped his fingers lightly on the table, his expression unreadable. Blackwell continued, flashing a smug grin, "And let's be honest, Mr. Eastwood may be a talented actor, but this isn't a Western. He can't just ride off into the sunset and ignore the law." The judge smirked. "A good point, Mr. Blackwell." The gallery erupted in laughter. The media loved it. Cameras clicked furiously, capturing every moment of what they assumed would be Eastwood's downfall. But what none of them knew was that Clint Eastwood was about to turn the courtroom upside down. As the laughter died down, Clint Eastwood leaned forward, his voice smooth but firm. "Your Honor," he said, "before we start making assumptions, maybe we should look at the real contract." Blackwell scoffed. "Oh, and what exactly do you mean by that?" Clint didn't respond immediately. Instead, he reached into a leather briefcase and pulled out a thick manila folder. He slid it across the table with deliberate precision, his eyes never leaving the judge. Inside the folder was something that would shatter Titan Corp's case into 1,000 pieces. The judge frowned. "Mr. Eastwood, what is this?" Clint let the silence hang for a moment, building the tension. Then, in a voice that carried the weight of decades of experience, he said that, "Your Honor, is the original unaltered contract, the one Titan Corp doesn't want you to see." Gasps rippled through the room. Blackwell's confident smirk disappeared as he snatched the document and flipped through it. His face paled as he realized what he was holding. Clint continued, his voice unwavering. Turns out, this contract was voided nearly 15 years ago due to Titan Corp's own failure to meet deadlines. Which means this whole lawsuit, he tilted his head, a faint smirk playing on his lips. A big fat waste of time? Blackwell stammered. This can't be right. Oh, it's right, Clint said. Page 17, Clause 4, Titan Corp defaulted. And you knew it. The judge narrowed his eyes and turned to Blackwell. Mr. Blackwell, is this true? Blackwell's face was pure panic. He flipped through the pages again, searching for a loophole, but there was none. The courtroom erupted into whispers. The once smug judge suddenly looked embarrassed. Clint Eastwood had just blown the case wide open. The judge cleared his throat, trying to regain control of the room. Mr. Blackwell, do you have a response? Blackwell gulped. I need to confer with my clients. Clint smirked. Oh, I bet you do. The judge, now visibly uncomfortable, tapped his gavel. Let's take a recess. As the courtroom emptied, Clint leaned back in his chair, watching as Blackwell frantically whispered with Titan Corp's executives. The corporate bigwigs were sweating, their carefully constructed case unraveling before their eyes. They had tried to trap Clint Eastwood, and he had just outplayed them all. When the court reconvened, Blackwell approached the bench, his confidence shattered. Your Honor, he croaked, we would like to withdraw the case. Clint's lawyer, a sharp and unflappable woman named Sarah Mitchell, stood up with a triumphant smile. Withdraw? No. Mr. Eastwood is filing a counterclaim for fraud and defamation. The courtroom exploded. Reporters scrambled to type their headlines, their cameras capturing every moment of the unfolding drama. The judge, clearly regretful for mocking Clint earlier, adjusted his glasses. Given the circumstances, the court will proceed with Mr. Eastwood's counterclaim. Boom. Titan Corp had walked in expecting a victory. Now they were staring down a lawsuit from Clint Eastwood himself. Hashtag the aftermath. Clint's final words. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed Clint, their microphones thrust toward him like weapons. Mr. Eastwood, how does it feel to expose Titan Corp? He took a slow breath, adjusting his suit. Feels a lot like justice. The cameras flashed. Social media erupted. Hashtag Clint Wins was trending worldwide. News outlets ran headlines like, Titan Corp tried to trick Clint Eastwood, big mistake. Judge mocked Eastwood, but he got the last laugh. The Hollywood legend just schooled a corporate giant. Clint Eastwood had not only won the case, he had humiliated one of the biggest corporations in America. His counterclaim would drag Titan Corp through a lengthy and public legal battle, exposing their shady practices and forcing them to pay millions in damages. As he walked toward his car, a reporter shouted, Mr. Eastwood, what do you have to say to Titan Corp? Clint stopped, put on his sunglasses, and smirked. Next time, read the fine print. Then, just like in one of his classic films, he disappeared into the sunset. In the weeks that followed, Titan Corp stock plummeted as investors fled the scandal-ridden company. Richard Blackwell's career never recovered, his reputation tarnished by the humiliating defeat. Judge Whitaker, too, faced scrutiny for his biased behavior, with calls for his resignation growing louder. Clint Eastwood, meanwhile, became a symbol of resilience and justice. His victory was celebrated not just by his fans, but by anyone who had ever felt oppressed by corporate greed. He donated the settlement money to charities supporting small businesses and veterans, further cementing his legacy as a true American hero. And as for Titan Corp, they learned the hard way that you don't mess with Clint Eastwood. But the story didn't end there. As the dust settled, a deeper narrative began to emerge. one of betrayal, redemption, and the enduring power of integrity. Years earlier, Clint Eastwood had partnered with Titan Corp to develop a chain of luxury resorts. The project was supposed to be a win-win. Eastwood would lend his name and vision, while Titan Corp would handle the logistics and financing. But as the project progressed, Eastwood began to notice discrepancies. Funds were being misallocated, deadlines were being missed, and corners were being cut. When Eastwood confronted Titan Corp's executives, they dismissed his concerns, assuring him that everything was under control. But Eastwood wasn't convinced. He hired a team of private investigators to dig deeper, and what they uncovered was shocking. Titan Corp had been using the project as a front to launder money and evade taxes. Eastwood immediately severed ties with Titan Corp, but the damage had already been done. The project collapsed, and Eastwood was left to pick up the pieces. He vowed to expose Titan Corp's corruption, but the company's legal team was formidable, and the case seemed unwinnable. For years, Eastwood bided his time, gathering evidence and building his case. He knew that taking on Titan Corp would be a David and Goliath battle, but he was determined to see it through. And now, after years of preparation, he had finally brought Titan Corp to its knees. Clint Eastwood's victory was more than just a legal triumph. It was a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of standing up for what's right. His story inspired countless others to fight against corporate greed and corruption, proving that even the smallest voice can make a difference. As for Eastwood, he returned to his ranch in Carmel, California, where he continued to work on his films and enjoy the quiet life. But he never forgot the lessons he learned from his battle with Titan Corp. And whenever he was asked about the case, he would simply smile and say, "Sometimes the good guys do win." While Clint Eastwood was the face of the legal battle, he didn't fight it alone. Behind the scenes, a dedicated team of lawyers, investigators, and advisors worked tirelessly to ensure justice was served. Sarah Mitchell, Eastwood's lead attorney, was a brilliant and tenacious lawyer who had made a name for herself by taking on powerful corporations. She was known for her meticulous preparation and unwavering commitment to her clients. Mitchell had been skeptical when Eastwood first approached her with the case, but his determination and the strength of the evidence convinced her to take it on. The investigative team, led by former FBI agent Jack Thompson, played a crucial role in uncovering Titan Corp's corruption. Thompson and his team spent months poring over financial records, interviewing witnesses, and following leads. Their work was painstaking and often dangerous, but they never wavered in their pursuit of the truth. Eastwood's longtime friend and business partner, Frankie Morales, also played a key role. Morales had been with Eastwood since the early days of his career and had a deep understanding of the entertainment industry. He provided invaluable insights and support throughout the legal battle. Together, this team of unsung heroes worked tirelessly to ensure that justice was served. Their efforts were a testament to the power of collaboration and the importance of standing up for what's right. Clint Eastwood's victory had far-reaching implications beyond the courtroom. It sent shockwaves through the corporate world, prompting a wave of investigations into other companies suspected of similar practices. Regulators and lawmakers took notice, and new legislation was introduced to hold corporations accountable for their actions. The case also inspired a new generation of activists and whistleblowers. People who had previously been afraid to speak out against powerful corporations found courage in Eastwood's example. They began to come forward with their own stories, leading to a wave of accountability and reform. For Eastwood, the case was a reminder of the importance of using his platform for good. He continued to advocate for transparency and accountability in the business world, using his influence to push for meaningful change. As the years passed, Clint Eastwood's victory over Titan Corp became the stuff of legend. It was a story of resilience, determination, and the enduring power of integrity. Eastwood's legacy was not just that of a Hollywood icon, but of a man who stood up for what was right no matter the odds. And as he rode off into the sunset, Clint Eastwood knew that he had made a difference. His battle with Titan Corp was more than just a legal victory. It was a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, justice could prevail. The end